Hey, this is Aditya from LightHaven. Today we're going to be working on our double knife, specifically in our pakal or ice picker. We're going to be working on two of our most common lines or principles, which is your diagonal line and your circular lines. At the end, I'm going to give you a drill that's going to combine both of these things together. The basis or the basic footwork that we're going to be doing all of these drills on today is going to be your ranging footwork. If you aren't familiar with your ranging footwork, I'm going to leave a link to that down below. First get familiar with that and then come back to this. Before we begin, it would mean a lot if you could subscribe to the channel. At the end of the video, if you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add to the discussion, please leave that in the comments. If you have any requests for future videos, please leave that also in the comments. All of these things really do help out the school and the channel a lot. So the first drill we're looking at is with your ranging footwork. It's just a simple angle 1, angle 2 with one hand, angle 1, angle 2 with the other hand. As I step out with my right leg, I'm going to use my right hand. As I step out with my left leg, I'm going to use my left hand. So I'm going angle 1, angle 2, come back, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can also do it with your double step, 1, 2. Now remember, because we are in pakal, you are looking to thrust and thrust. You're looking for that penetration. So make sure that that tip is aligned in the right way. You're looking to thrust and it's not a slash. The other thing you want to keep in mind is where your knife is positioned when you're doing the angle 1 and the angle 2. You don't want to be doing the angle 1, angle 2 and cutting your own hand. You don't want this knife by your waist. You want it still up in this guard position, but you want it too far out because that's going to cut your own hand. Keep it nice and tight. And as I go for the angle 1, I tuck my other knife against my chest. That makes sure that I'm not cutting my own hand as my knife comes through. 1, 2. You can also keep it by your face and then tuck it. In the beginning, I suggest you keep it tucked to your chest as you're thrusting. And as you get more comfortable with it, you can float the hand a little bit more. Sometimes you can stay up by your face, sometimes it can be by your chest. Later on it can even go down to your hip depending on what it is that you're trying to do. What we are looking to do is we're trying to ensure that one weapon follows the other weapon. We want this sort of motion where one weapon is following the other weapon. So as this knife comes out, this knife is going to follow. As this knife comes out, this knife is going to follow. That's why we're using this diagonal line. You want your weapons following each other. Remember, your angle 1 is 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock on the clock, 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock on that clock. Next, we're going to look at our circular lines. So circular lines means you're trying to make two circles, one with each hand, and you're trying to make it almost like those pie charts intersect in the middle. You want your knife to cover from your nose round about till your groin area, and you want both circles to cross center line, not all the way across so that it only becomes one circle. You want two separate circles, but both circles should intercept or cross each other on center line. One thing you want to make sure that you're not doing, and it's a fairly common mistake, is that as you're making this circle, as the other hand comes, people often pause with this bottom hand here for a second, and then they'll do this. This is not what you want to do. You want both circles to constantly be moving. That's the whole point of the circular line. You want it to be constantly moving and not pausing down here for a second and then coming up. We're going to again be doing this with our ranging footwork. The choice is yours whether you want to go same hand, same leg, or opposite hand, opposite leg. Both will eventually have different applications and you should be able to train both. One important thing to remember over here is that we are going to try and do 3 circles for every step. So as I step, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, 2, 3. The reason that I'm doing this is that if I'm starting, let's say, with the same hand, same leg, so right hand, right leg, I want to maintain that coordination when I go to my left leg. I want to maintain that coordination when I'm going back or to the sides. The only way for me to do that is to stick to 3 or a multiple of 3 with my hands. If I do 2, let's say I do 2, I go same hand, same leg, I go 1, 2. Now when I step out with my left leg, now I'm going opposite hand, opposite leg, which means I've changed that coordination. I want to stick to that same coordination throughout the drill. So I'm going to go on 3 on multiple of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next thing to remember is the orientation of the blade and the forearm. Now, just for the sake of simplicity, to make my life a bit easier, I do this imagining a punch is coming towards me down center line. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop, parry and scoop that punch out in between between the knife and my forearm. Same on the other side, parry and scoop, 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 parry and scoop. It's important that you're meeting that punch within this gap between your knife and your forearm. That way the knife is not facing here when I'm making the circles, the knife is facing side, like this. So the whole thing looks like this. With my double step. Once you are comfortable with both versions of the drill, we're going to combine them. So as I step out, I'm going to scoop, slash, come back with an angle 2, and as I come back with an angle 2, I'm going to come back to my home, and then I'm going to step out, scoop, slash, angle 2, scoop, slash, angle 2, scoop, slash, angle 2, circular line, slash, angle 2, circular line, slash, angle 2. The coordination I'm looking for is that I am looking for the circular parry. As I step, I'm coming back with a slash. So again, for the sake of simplicity for myself, I imagine a punch coming straight at me. I'm scooping from here, that circular parry, immediately coming back with a slash. I often do this empty hand as well, where I'll do a circular parry into a hook, circular parry into an elbow, or a circular parry into a slap. You can do any one of the combinations. So I'm going to do a circular parry into a cut. From here I'm going to come back with an angle to thrust. As I come back with an angle to thrust and that center, and I clear center line, this hand scoops, slashes, thrust, scoop, slash, thrust, scoop, slash, thrust, scoop, slash, thrust, circular parry, slash, thrust, circular parry, slash, thrust. And again you can do this with single step and double step. The important thing to remember in all 3 drills is that if you are feeling the need to speed up at any point of time, or to maintain that flow, maintain that circle, or maintain that sort of that rhythm, then there's something wrong. You should be able to do all of this really slowly and still have the right coordination, still have the right timing, still have the right flow. If you are feeling the need to do it fast, there's some bits and pieces along the way that you have missed. So go back, start again, and do it slowly, 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 and smoothly. Build up those transitions, and then eventually the speed will come. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, if you learned from what you saw, please do like and share this video. If you have anything to add to the conversation, please do leave that in the comments down below. If you have any requests for future videos, please also leave that in the comments down below. Also, please subscribe to the channel. It does help us out a lot at the school and at the channel. We've also just restarted our residential program, so if you want to enroll and come and train with us, I'm going to leave that link down below as well. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.